Hi everybody, this is Rhonda Larson from Beautiful Healing Journey, and I'm going to do a few videos over the next couple days on how you can clean your home air if someone in your home gets sick. I know that we're all concerned right now with the coronavirus, and you can actually do these things to clean the air in your home, you know, whether someone is sick or not, just to clean the atmosphere. Or, like I said, if somebody is ill in the home, you can go take these into the room of a sick individual and clean the area, disinfectant. But this today, we're going to actually learn how to make a fumigatory herb bundle. And what that is, it's basically a little bundle that you make with herbs, and you wrap it with twine, you let it dry, and it takes about, like I said, probably about 2 weeks to dry if you make it with fresh herbs. But after the 2 weeks is over, when it's dry, you can actually light these with a lighter or a match, and the smoke from the smoke will actually clear the room of that sick individual or the space in your home if it needs disinfecting. So this is actually, I've made a few already. This is what we're going to make today. It's just a bunch of fresh herbs that I collected, and I wrap them with twine. So the ones that we're going to be making today are going to be made out of pine, some fresh thyme, some fresh sage, and some lavender, and also some rosemary. So all of these herbs I chose because they all have amazing disinfectant properties. They've been used for centuries for cleansing and purifying the air and the body. So, and they're wonderful respiratory herbs to clean, you know, just they're expectorants, they're antibacterial, antimicrobial. So they're all actually really powerful for a lot of uses internally and externally. But for this today, we're going to just make a little bundle. So I'm going to just show you how to make these, and you can use any herbs that you really want. I just chose these today for the specific reason I shared. If you don't have fresh herbs growing right now, because it's winter, some of these I didn't have in my garden from last year, but I actually bought some at the grocery store. So I didn't have any thyme right now, so you can actually get some from the grocery store, the fresh, or some sage. I didn't have sage either, but we do have a pine tree, so I collected some pine, and we had some lavender growing that's still green, and some rosemary. So whatever you have, and if you don't have anything, you can go out and buy it at the grocery store. So how we're going to start, we're just going to take a couple of these little bundles, and you can, and if you only have a pine tree, say, you can just use pine. You don't have to use all these different herbs. If you have just lavender, you can just use lavender. You can just use sage or rosemary. You don't have to use combinations of herbs, but I'm just making, I just thought it would be fun to group a couple of these different herbs together. So here I'm doing sage, I have lavender, I have pine. I'm going to put some thyme in here, and let's do some rosemary. So that's actually going to make a really nice little thick bundle. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to take our string. So you want to use cotton twine. Make sure that it's 100% cotton so that when you burn it, it burns nicely. And you actually, what you're going to do first, what I do, I'm not a professional at this, but it's just something that I just do to make it. So this is how I do it. But I just first take my bundle at the bottom, and I tie a string around the bottom. I kind of group all the little twigs and all the little bits at the bottom together. And you want to tie it really, really tight, because as this dries, they're going to shrink a little bit. So you want to try to tie this bundle as, you know, as kind of as snug or as tight as you can. Okay, so there we have the bottom tied. And then you want to go to your string again, and you want this time, you want it to be really long, kind of longer than what you would assume you would need. And I'll share with you why in just a minute, but just maybe like 3 to 4 feet. So just cut it, and then what you want to do then is you want to start at the bottom here. Actually, what I usually do is I tie this bottom here to the twine at the bottom. Just gonna, yeah. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but just a nice little knot. Okay, and then what I do is I start kind of going up in the same direction. You want to grab all these little bits and pieces and twine them all together. Okay, so some of it's gonna kind of be sticking out. That's okay. Go to the top and kind of straighten it out a little bit. At the top, and then you want to take the same string. This is why you want your string long. You want to come down and you want to go the opposite way. So you're kind of making a cross. As you can see, you're kind of crossing around, and try to keep this as snug as you can, because like I said, it's gonna dry out and it's gonna loosen because the herbs are gonna dry. But just kind of snug it together, and you're making that, you're crossing your string, okay? So look how easy that is. And you just cut it, and you just tie it at the bottom snugly again. Make a nice little knot. Okay, and then I just cut the ends. You can trim any kind of little thingies, you know, any little pieces sticking out here. And there you go. That's a little bundle. And then in 2 weeks, like I said, it's going to be dry. You can let it dry in the sun on a sunny, warm day. It'll dry a little faster if you leave it in the sun. It might be dry in a week if you let it out in the sun. But in your home, it probably will take about 2 weeks. I just kind of hang them upside down somewhere in your kitchen or wherever until they're dry. And then when they're dry, you want to light it at the top here, and light it with a match or a lighter. And you want to have like a bowl underneath of it, so the bowl will catch the ashes that fall. So a bowl that's bigger than the actual bundle, so you have something to catch it. And you're just gonna let that smoke in the room where someone is ill, just to cleanse the space, to disinfect it. So yeah, so that's just how you make a fumigatory bundle. So one way that you can clean your house that's very inexpensive, and hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much. Goodbye.